All right, says we're live here. All right, yeah, there we go, there we go. All right. I had to troubleshoot some shit here because some funny things going on behind the scenes here. So looks like we're all right here. We're able to stream here. The weekend after the NFL draft, ladies and gentlemen, has come and passed. So that was for many teams, it was a success. For some teams, maybe it wasn't as good of a draft, or they just maybe I don't know didn't see that the teams that they were picking were going to be got to pick this team or pick this team or this team went down, and we'll get into that here. We'll try to break down some draft grades here of the teams here. Uh, we got some we got some games going on right now. Obviously, baseball is in full swing, in full effect right now. We got the NBA playoffs. We just had a couple game ones yesterday here. First game, Giannis Antetokounmpo in the triple double, and the reigning NBA champs went into Boston. Boston was giving them all they can handle, but then they closed it out here. The Milwaukee Bucks clamped them up here, but as a whole team here, Boston shot really bad. As a team, they only shot 30 some percent. So that's terrible. Will that remain in the series? I don't think it will. But Giannis and them guys came out there, played. Grayson Allen started lighting it up, hitting threes. My man Bobby Portis, OG Bobby Johnson, OG Bobby Porter. All right, he came out there and they did their thing. The Bucks, and I was on the side of the Bucks. I picked the Bucks on the money line, and I had the Bucks on the under, and both happened to cash for me. And then the second game here, we had the Golden State Warriors taking on the Memphis Grizzlies here. I mean, a highly talented matchup we got here, and we got it yesterday. And man, these guys were going back and forth between the Warriors. The Warriors got in a little foul trouble early, so the Grizzlies took a little bit early of the lead, but then the Warriors kind of took that kind of took a lead, but then the Grizzlies kept fighting back. Kept fighting back. John Morant took a hard. He tried to get up for a rebound and then whack falls right on his back. It was very made my back hurt just watching him fall down on the ground like that. And then Draymond Green uh hits Brandon Clark kind of in the head and then he grabs the jersey and pulls him down. And in fashion, Draymond Green gets ejected in the second quarter, which kind of in my thing, it kind of did spark the Warriors. It sparked the Warriors to start playing better. The Warriors started playing better. Jordan Poole really, I mean, as soon as Draymond left, Jordan Poole basically took over the game. He basically, I mean, and Looney stepped up as well, and so the Warriors ended up winning by 1 point. John Morant missed. He had a chance. He had a layup opportunity to win the game for them by one, and they didn't. And I had the Grizzlies plus 2.5. They covered. They only lost by a point. So I had the plus twos to them to lose by at least two or less, and they only lost by one. So hey, I had the cover there, and I had the over, and it went over. It went 247 or 237. My bad. Um. So yeah, the only thing that killed me on that parlay is I bet the fucking Seattle Kraken, and they were up 3-1 in the third with I think it was like 15 minutes or something like that. I turned away from it. Was watching the excitingness of Memphis Grizzlies and Warriors. I go back later on to see the fucking the fucking Winnipeg Jets scored three unanswered goals and win the game 4-3. So that killed my parlay there. And in baseball, I just got some of the games I predicted were pretty impressive. But then the other ones I kind of shit the bed. But other than that, it was a great day for the NBA playoffs here. I mean, it was a spectacular first games. I didn't. I mean, I thought the Bucks and Celtics were gonna be closer game than that was, but I didn't expect the Celtics to shoot that terrible. And I went on a whim and took the Bucks money line, and I took the Grizzlies on the plus 2.5. I took the under with the Bucks and the Celtics, and I took the over with the Grizzlies and the Warriors because I figured both teams in the Grizzlies and Warriors are kind of high up tempo teams. They generally score quite a bit of points. I mean, Celtics and the Bucks do too, but Celtics are more of a kind of a defensive team, more or less, with the Defensive Player of the Year in Marcus Smart. So I figure sometimes the scores, you know, unless they just don't have no defense, then the scoring goes up. But if there's defense in that game, there's going to be some unders. So that's how I looked at it yesterday. So, but yeah, we had the NFL draft. It was nice. I had to catch it on the road coming back home from Idaho. I had to go get my sister, and we were listening to the draft here as we. It's basically we started listening to the draft as soon as we got to like Reno and to almost to California. So it was kind of nice to be able to be back home and be able to listen to it on the radio like I used to do it when I used to be fishing with my dad. Sometimes we go out there fishing on some Sundays and we just listen to sports games, and it just something about listening to sports on the radio. You don't get to see the picture of the game. You don't get to see who's telling you the game. You just got to listen to the voice and the affliction of the action through this through a voice. Yeah. So I mean, it was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome to hear the selections. I think a lot of the teams did very well. I mean, we'll start with Jacksonville, the number one team here. I think Jacksonville did well so far. As the only thing that I'm gonna say here that I'm gonna knock Jacksonville for was paying Christian Kirk all that money. I think they're gonna be really sorry for doing that. But otherwise, the free agents that they brought in, and then also the first round pick they selected, Trayvon Walker. I think that's a good pick, for them because they needed to revitalize that defense and get that defense to where it can play competitive, so that way they're not relying on the young guy T Law Trevor Lawrence to try to have to do too much because I mean, you got two good running backs. You got a young Travis Etienne. We're gonna see him coming back, so he's probably gonna be phased in a little bit. So you're gonna have mostly probably James Robinson, and then you'll probably have a little bit of Travis Etienne, and to get him back to being healthy because he was out last year. They got some good receivers now. Obviously Christian Kirk. They brought they have they have the guys that they have now. They don't have no GJ Shark is gone, obviously. There's no Marquez Lee, but they got some better targets down there now. So where, and they beefed up the offensive line. So they came in, they got Scherf. They got Brandon Scherf from the Commanders. I always call them the Redskins, whatever. I don't give a fuck. They're always going to be called the fucking Redskins to me. And it's not that I'm some racist motherfucker that hates indigenous people, this and that. It's funny how people want to say they're against racism, but they still allow the propitiation of racism to go on, or the stereotypicalness of the racism going on. So therefore, the bigger question is it the racist person or the people continue to perpetuate the racist mentality and agenda and the card all the time? Now, that's the thing here. We always want to argue, fucking apples to oranges, bananas to oranges, and fucking pineapples to watermelons. And it just seems like people just want to act like they know better or they're smarter, and really you're not. It just We're just grasping at straws and hoping that we know all that is what we call the truth. But I don't want to get diversed into going off into a tangent already here. We want to stay on topic of the NFL draft hangover. So, I'm like trying to find, let's try to find where we can find where the NFL. Let's find the NFL. NFL. Uh, all right. We. All right. All right. I want to kind of look and see exactly what we're dealing with here as far as what the teams. All right, we'll start off with Arizona here. We'll start off with Arizona. No, motherfucker. I already ate lunch, bitch. Try not to interrupt my damn shit. All right. Before we're interrupted by this sorry ass fucking, everything's got to have a fucking thing on here. But let's go down and break it down starting from A to Z's in NFL here. We got the Arizona Cardinals here. They gave them an A minus. They they said for day one they gave them a B plus. Day two they gave them an A, and day three they gave them an A here. Obviously, let's go down some notable picks that they drafted here. Uh, Colorado State tight end Trey McBride. That's gonna be exceptionally good pick. Pairing him next to Zach Ertz there, so that's gonna help them extraordinarily and help Kyler Murray out a little bit. Defensive end Cameron Thomas, and then you also got Cincinnati defensive edge rusher Majaya Sanders here. So you got two young defensive ends there. So you got some defensive end depth here and edge pressure. You got USC running back Keontae Ingram here. You got Virginia Tech offensive guard Lysidius Smith. We got Valdosta State defensive back Christian Matthews. Penn State edge rusher Jesse Lucata. And Oklahoma offensive guard Marquise Hayes. Now, obviously, the big factor here for the Arizona Cardinals day one was they got Marquise Brown. He was traded from the Ravens to the Arizona Cardinals. So basically, reuniting him with his college quarterback. So these guys obviously know each other on Twitch. These guys played Madden together against each other. They both have Twitch channels. So now they're going to be teammates now. So I think overall, Arizona didn't do bad. I mean, I don't know too much about all these other picks, but I believe they just got, they picked up players that they needed to plug and play, and maybe guys they lost, maybe add some more depth at positions that normally need the addition of depth, which is like offensive guard and offensive defensive line. So we won't spend too much time talking about them there. And let's go to the Atlanta Falcons now here. The Atlanta Falcons. They gave them a B plus, which I'd say is kind of fair. It's kind of fair. They said day one they got a B plus. They said day two they got an A. They hit like a home run with an A. And they said day three they kind of stayed average. They got a C grade. So, but let's read off some of the notable picks that they had. Obviously, the number eight overall pick in the first round. They took Drake London. I call him Drake Loudon because I mean he's gonna be loud out there on the field, and he's a big tall guy. He's gonna be deep threat. You can put him with Kyle Pitts now. I mean now you're talking about something. I mean if Calvin Ridley didn't go gamble, didn't go, bet like I do. Should have just stayed. They should have said, "Hey, man, I just got to take some time off NFL and not betted." I don't know who ratted him out, who threw him under the bus, but somebody did, and he got caught up with it, and boom. All right. So in the second round, they picked up edge rusher Arnold Abakatu. Penn State edge rusher here is really, really, really talented guy. They took Montana State linebacker Troy Anderson here. I mean, this guy can play anything. He's played quarterback. He's played, I mean, they also they got Cincinnati quarterback Desmond Ritter. I like that pick a lot. I think that's, gives them a quarterback for the future after, trading Matt Ryan away to the Colts. And then they have Marcus Mariota, but, hey, we'll probably see Desmond Ritter, sooner than later, obviously. Maybe not so soon this season, but maybe we'll see him later on in the season to come. It will remain to be seen. We got Western Kentucky edge rusher D'Angelo Malone. We have BYU running back Tyler Aguirre. You got Georgia offensive guard Justin Schaffer. We got Georgia tight end John Fitzpatrick. So we took two Georgia boys there, so they ain't got to move too far. So I mean, I'd have to agree. I think the first 2 days were the best days probably for Atlanta, and probably the third day was kind of just they just kind of took what was left. So needless to say, they'll be all right. Now they're gonna blow people's socks away. I doubt that. We got the Baltimore Ravens. I think not my I'm not a biased opinion here, but for me, one of the better one of the teams that had the best drafts, I would say. I don't know if they had the best of them all, but they got just they got great players that they're gonna make impacts this year, and mark my words, the Ravens are gonna be back to compete for that division, and if not, you know, I mean, it's gonna be a black and blue AFC North for sure. So they gave them an A. They said day one they got an A plus, day two they got an A, and day three they got an A. So I'm gonna say yeah. I mean, basically round one they got Kyle Hamilton at 14. I mean, he is a solid safety. He is, he's long in length. He's got 6'4". He's got the size. I mean, I liked him, and I figured that the Vikings at 12 we could have probably got him, since we already had a Notre Dame strong safety and Harrison Smith, that we would have took Kyle Hamilton to be the predecessor. And well, we didn't. We traded down. We traded out all the way to number 32 with the fucking Lions, and you know what? Kyle Hamilton goes to the Ravens. Then number 25, they picked Tyler Linderbaum. I think he's going to be like what the center from the Chiefs was. Creed Humphreys here, who became an all-pro center, and he was drafted out of the University of Oklahoma. I think this kid from Iowa is going to be the strong anchor point for this Baltimore Ravens offense, and that's gonna help. That's gonna help. This kid's gonna come in here and he's gonna make an impact right away. I mean, is he gonna be great right away? No, but give him some time, and give him some time to gel in there and get and make his impact. I think you're gonna see. He's gonna help the run game, and he's gonna definitely help the pass game here with Lamar Jackson. They took Michigan edge rusher David Abajobi. They took UConn's defensive tackle Travis Jones. Minnesota offensive tackle Daniel Fowley. They took Alabama corner Jalen Armour Davis. They took Iowa State tight end Charlie Kohler. I like that a lot. Charlie Kohler is a very good big tight end, big target. He's gonna help out Mark Andrews. They took Penn State punter Jordan Stout. He's a solid punter. Solid punter. They took Coastal Carolina tight end Isaiah Likely. I like him. He's kind of like he. If I'm going to compare him to any guy, I'm going to compare him to Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith was, you know, a guy that came out of Florida International. Basically, one of these young, tight ends that are kind of like a wide receiver, almost like a Darren Waller type. These guys, you put them in the slot, man, they can be just as dangerous here. So look out there. Houston cornerback Demario Williams, and last but not least, they got Missouri running back Tyler Batty. So yeah, I think the Ravens did fairly well for themselves in getting, what they needed, exactly what they needed in the draft. They picked exactly needs, but what fell to them was a great top tier safety and an offensive lineman. Then another edge rusher, basically linebacker. He could play linebacker. He could play that. You could put him on the edge. You got a good, solid, defensive tackle. They got an offensive tackle that's gonna be able to fill in. You got another cornerback that was desperately. They got two cornerbacks desperately needed them last year. I mean, they got hit hard than any other team. I mean, they were decimated at corner last year. The fucking Baltimore Ravens were, and it's sad. They had Marcus Peters and all these guys they had come in. They were expecting high things. Boom, boom, one after another got hurt. Bad injuries. Just it was just you can't even predict that sometimes. All right, and then we have the Buffalo Bills here. Let's go to the Buffalo Bills. They gave them an A. I think they did an especially good job. The Buffalo Bills did here. I don't believe they. I don't know if they had a first round pick or they had a lower pick, but they traded up and they got Kaiir Elam here, cornerback Florida. I think he's gonna fit very well. He's gonna help them out until obviously Tre'Davious White. He's battling injury. He probably is not gonna start the season. So basically, this young man's gonna get an opportunity to be able to get in there to get mixed up in the offense to get acclimated. And once they get their full unit together, man, it's gonna be a sight to see. They also picked up James Cook, who is who? Dalvin Cook's brother. And guess what? The Minnesota Vikings go into Buffalo, New York this year, and his younger brother, James Cook. They also took Baylor linebacker Terrell Bernard, a nice fast linebacker that's going to fit in that system. That obviously that Leslie Frazier defense here. He always likes those linebackers that can get after the ball, can get after the tackles, can also play some decent coverage. They took Boise State receiver Khalil Shakira. So I think that's just another adding depth at the wide receiver spot. They took punter from San Diego State, Matt Arazia. They took Villanova cornerback Christian Benford. They took Virginia Tech offensive lineman Luke Tentu. And they took Clemson linebacker Byleon Spector. So yeah, I think they did well here. I think they deserved an A grade here. We got Carolina. So Carolina here, I think they deserve an A here. I'd say definitely the first day they definitely deserve an A grade for getting that. Aki Akunwa. He is a solid run offensive tackle guy, dude. This guy, I mean, if you want to know what his specialty and trade is, it's in the run game. He likes to run you down. He likes to put your ass in the fucking ground. And he's probably decent at pass protection, but his his full potential impact is definitely on the run. And guess what that helps? That's going to help Christian McCaffrey a lot. That's going to help the quarterback in this offense a lot. A lot is to have a guy like that that's going to be able to like want to bully people around, and then just want to put people on the ground and open up some holes and really do a lot of things. If Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy, they got Chuba Hubbard. Use that Christian McCaffrey Chuba Hubbard thing. You can flip it in there a little bit. Kind of see what they got. So I definitely like that pick in the first round. That was the only pick they had. And they went out and got Matt Carroll here. I think that is a good pickup as a quarterback. I mean, if you were thinking about Baker Mayfield, well, why don't you just draft? Why didn't they just draft Baker Mayfield, but a better version of Baker Mayfield? I don't want to. I don't want to just. I don't want to already categorize Matt Carroll as a Baker Mayfield guy, but he has that. He's got that Baker Mayfield. He fits in that prototypical. You know, if tendencies, traits, as we say. But he's got a lot faster release than Baker does, and he's probably a lot faster as far as running for the ball. So we'll remain to see there at Carolina what they do with Matt Carroll here, whether they play him this year or he don't. Penn State linebacker Brandon Smith, I think that was really good. Then they got a steal here. They went and got Virginia Tech edgeman Mario Bonaro. I think that's going to help them a lot as well. Yeah, he can play linebacker. He can play on the edge here. You basically got another guy that's almost kind of like Brian Burns. So you're gonna have another Brian Burns type guy on the other side, mixed together with all the other guys that they already have in that defense. Carolina's gonna be looking very nice. They took Tennessee offensive guard Cade Mays. Like I said, definitely they took offensive tackle in the first round, and then they got another guard, because they need to rebuild that line a little bit better and stronger and stouter, and to where they can be able to compete. Then they took another corner. They took a cornerback here from Baylor, Kallon Barnes. So yeah, I think for the most part they got an A grade here. So Carolina did well for themselves. We have the Chicago Bears here. The Chicago Bears. And Chicago Bears are in my division, so I mean, what's not to like about these guys? What's not to like about these Bears here? But no, I think as far as looking at the draft here, I mean, I think they deserved, they said A minus. I'd say more or less like I'd say B plus here I want to be generous here. I think the Bears have a B plus type of draft here. I think the quality of players they got, you know, having no first round pick. Obviously, they had to pick. Their picks were in the second round, second and third round, and so on and so forth. So they got cornerback out of Washington, Kyler Gordon, really good young guy. They need that depth there at cornerback here to go along with Jalen Johnson, who they drafted last year from the University of Utah, who played really well for them. And they also picked up Penn State safety Jaquan Brisker. Again, trying to get that, because that was another thing last year. Depth for the Bears at safeties and cornerbacks wasn't really there, so they were getting beat deep, and so that hurts a lot. They took Tennessee wide receiver Velus Jones here. Obviously, Allen Robinson the second is gone, but they're obviously going to still go get depth there. Then they went and got Southern Utah offensive tackle Braxton Jones. They took Miami, Ohio edge rusher Dominique Robinson. They took San Diego State offensive guard Zach Thomas. They took Baylor running back Tristan Ebner. They took Illinois center Doug Kramer. They took Southern offensive guard Jytrell Carter, Jytrey, Jaytrey, Carter. They took they took Cal DB Elijah Hicks. They took NC State punter Trenton Gill. So yeah. Then we have the Bengals here. The Bengals here, they had one pick in the first round, and they picked Michigan DB Daxton Hill. Then they also took another cornerback DB Cam Taylor Britton. They took Florida defensive tackle Zachary Carter. They took North Dakota State offensive lineman Cordell Walson. They took Toledo safety Tryson Anderson. And they took Coastal Carolina edge rusher Jeffrey Gunter. So they did pretty well here. I'd say they probably did like about a B. All right, then you got the Browns here. Well, first day the Browns they didn't have any picks, so they're not going to get a good grade there. Day 2 here. Like I said, I would give the Browns about a B about a B about a B plus or so like that. Almost like a C here. I think they addressed some players. They got Mississippi State cornerback Martin Emerson here. They got UAB's defensive end Alex Wright, Purdue wide receiver David Bell, Oklahoma defensive tackle Perion Winfrey. They got LSU kicker Cade York. They got Cincinnati running back Jerome Ford. They got Oklahoma wide receiver Mike Woods, Oklahoma edge rusher Isaiah Thomas, or edge player, Texas Tech center Dawson Deaton. So the Dallas Cowboys here. Obviously, I'd say the Cowboys got probably like a B plus. I'd say like a B plus draft class here. Yeah, B plus, B minus. I would say. I mean, the first round pick here, they took Tulsa offensive tackle Tyler Smith here. Probably was the best pick for them at that position here, probably. But they definitely need offensive line now. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was definitely they could have went up higher. They got Ole Miss's defensive end Sam Williams, South Alabama wide receiver Jalen Tolbert. We got Wisconsin tight end Jake Ferguson, North Dakota offensive tackle Matt Watzko, Matt Watzko here. Fresno State cornerback Deron Bland. LSU linebacker Damon Clark. Arkansas's defensive tackle John Ridgway. And Oklahoma State linebacker Devin Harper. So yeah, I would have to definitely agree that they deserve like a B plus grade for the draft. Then we have the Denver Broncos here. Denver Broncos here. You know what? I'm gonna say they got like they got a good solid A grade. I'd say A or just like a high B. Because I like the Oklahoma edge guy they got Nick Botnito. I like that. UCLA tight end Greg Deluch. I like that pick for them. Pitt cornerback Damari Mathis. Can't have, like I said, can't have enough, cornerbacks in your repertoire. Iowa State defensive tackle Imeo Azwuke. And then Oklahoma safety Delaran Turner Yell. Then we got Samford wide receiver Montreal Washington. Then we got Washington center Luke Wattenberg, Wisconsin defensive tackle Matt Hensinger, Matt Henningsen, Matt Henningsen here, and then Wisconsin cornerback Fayon Hicks. So yeah, I'd say they got about. I said they did probably about an A. Like I said, I'd say like a low A, high B grade for the Broncos. And that's the Lions B plus. Yeah, I think they. I think. I mean, day one, I think they got at least a high A minus. That definitely. You know, they got a high A grade. But as far as the other days, they just kept in line. I think they got players that they definitely needed. Obviously, they got Michigan's edge rusher Aiden Hutchinson, Alabama wide receiver Jamison Williams, Kentucky defensive tackle Josh Pascal, Illinois safety Kirby Joseph, Virginia Tech tight end James Mitchell, Oklahoma State linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez, Jackson State edge man James Houston, Arizona State cornerback Chase Lucas. Then we have the Green Bay Packers here. Green Bay Packers, they did well for themselves. They drafted pretty well. I'd say definitely, I'd say they deserve an A or B grade here. Definitely. Let's see, Texans. Yeah, I think Texans deserve like a good B minus. The Colts. Well, the Colts didn't have a first round pick, so that hurt them there. But otherwise, I'd say the Colts had probably about you know, a low B, high C. Jacksonville here. Yeah, I'll say Jacksonville had a high B plus, maybe a low A. The Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, I would definitely say the Chiefs had probably a solid A kind of grade here as far as the players they drafted. I like their draft as well here. The Las Vegas Raiders, they gave them an A. I mean, for me, I'd have to give the Raiders like a B, maybe like a low A, but I'd say like a high B plus, or just because I think they drafted well for what they had. Their first pick was in the third round, so and they basically got Devontae Adams. The Chargers here, Chargers definitely deserve. I think Chargers definitely they deserve an A grade. They did pretty well. They drafted to add to the depth that they needed. The Rams, defending champions here. They didn't really say they didn't have no first round picks or whatever, so I mean I'd say probably no, I would say, but I don't know if it's an A grade. I mean, you want to say give them an A grade here. I would say that I'd give them like a B here at least. And the Dolphins didn't really have too many picks, so I'd definitely say they were like a B, could be a C here. The Vikings, they think we deserved an A minus. I would say a B. I'd say we were definitely a solid B, maybe a low A. Definitely solid B here as far as drafting. Patriots here. I would say a high C, low B here, and definitely was a not a Patriot type of draft. Let's just say that here. The Saints. I would say Chris Avali was a good pickup. So was the offensive tackle there. They didn't have much after that. So yeah, I'd say definitely a C was a good draft grade for the Saints. The Giants. The New York Giants, they did pretty well. I'd say definitely like a A grade at least, an A, a strong solid A here. The Jets as well. Jets, I'd say they had at least a strong A draft grade. Philadelphia, Philadelphia, the players that fell to them, I think they deserve the at least an A minus here, or at least a solid A here, high B. Steelers, I think the Steelers. Oh, they dropped another quarterback too. Chris Alduca. Oh, for that, I have to give the Steelers a B, bro. I have to give the Steelers a B. Niners, yeah, I'd give them a B, maybe a high C. Seattle, they give them a C. I'd give Seattle at least a B. I think Seattle had at least a good B, a strong, a solid B here. Tampa Bay here. I'll give Tampa like a low A here, high B. Tennessee. Tennessee, I think they did fairly well here. I'd say low A, high B, definitely for them. The Commanders, yeah, the Commanders. I'm gonna say the Commanders definitely. It's gonna be a low B, a high C. I'd say here. So, so that's just my synopsis on that here. But now we're gonna get into this betting here. Well, before we get out, let's get some updates here. Get some update on some baseball here. We got some live baseball on right now here. Ooh, the White Sox over here. The White Sox are leading right now here. They're leading 3-0 here in the seventh here. Definitely wanted to go the under here with that, but all right. So we got 6 games to go here, and obviously on the mound tonight here we have Zach Gallen for the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on Pablo Lopez. Gonna be a gonna be a good matchup here of two young pitchers that are pitching very well right now. Pablo Lopez is pitching very well. I mean, the Marlins have not hit, the bats have not come alive so much. I mean, same thing with Arizona. I mean, Arizona, they've been playing a little bit well, but their pitching. So it's going to be an interesting matchup here. They got obviously the Marlins are favored to win on the run line here. You got Diamondbacks on the money line as the underdog, and over under of 6.5 runs. That is very interesting. Then we have Chris Paddock here in the Minnesota Twins taking on Tyler Wells and the Baltimore Orioles. Twins are the run, and they have the advantage on the runs. Orioles plus 130 as the underdog, and over under 7.5 runs. Interesting there. We have Jordan Montgomery, the lefty, and the New York Yankees going up to face Ross Stripling and the Toronto Blue Jays. The Yankees are favored on the run line. The Blue Jays are plus 100, or in the betting terms, you would call that even. And you have an over under of 8.5. I don't know. I'd stay away from the 8.5 with the Yankees here because they tend to put up some runs. Then we have Max Fried, the lefty, and the Atlanta Braves taking on the New York Mets and Chris Bassitt. The Mets are the favorites on the run line tonight here. No one is favored either way. You bet on the money line here. And we have over under 6.5 runs. And then the next game we have Marco Gonzalez, the lefty from Seattle. They're going on to take on Jose Urrutia and the Houston Astros here. Astros are favored on the run line. Seattle's plus 115 on the money line. We have over under 9 runs. And then last but not least, we have Drew Rasmussen and the Tampa Bay Rays taking on Dalton Jeffries and the Oakland Athletics. The Rays are favored on the run line. The A's are plus 140 tonight on the money line. And we have an over under of 6.5 runs. So that's there. Well, we already had a game go final here in the MLB. We'll get to that one after we. All right, so we got the NBA Finals here. The first games of these two tipping off tonight between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Miami Heat. Miami Heat is minus 7.5 on the spread right now. Philadelphia is plus 280 on the money line. We have over under of 208.5. And last but not least, we have the Dallas Mavericks taking on the Phoenix Suns. Suns minus 6. Mavericks are plus 195, plus 195 on the money line tonight. And we have an over under of 214.5. So interesting number there. Interesting number there. I mean, we when we're looking at these matchups here, I mean, I think Philadelphia. I mean, I think Philadelphia matches up pretty good with Miami here. I mean, I think even though Embiid had that thumb injury, it didn't seem to bother him in the closeout game against the fucking Raptors. I mean, they went to Toronto and they smoked them. I mean, they smoked them. What was it, 130 to like 90 something or something like that? I mean, they buried the Raptors. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be able to do that against Miami tonight, but I'm just saying don't count the 76ers out the series because James Harden came to play, and that's another thing. We haven't seen the best. We haven't seen playoff James Harden yet, where he's going off and he's going crazy. Now that's what they're going to need here in this series. But Miami Heat, if Jimmy Buckets, man, if Jimmy Buckets can stay healthy and he can just dominate this series, I mean, it's going to be a different series. And Tyler Hero, not my hero, but your hero. No. But yeah, we're gonna get our bets in here. We're gonna take this marijuana smoke break here because we are of age and we are in a state that is legal to recreationally smoke marijuana, and also if it's medically. And we also tell everybody that please use in moderation. Please don't go out there and be dumb. We don't condone underage drinking nor smoking, nor doing these things to hurt young people here. Let young people be young people and let them grow up and develop. I wish that was the case. But unfortunately, people will fuck with you, whether you're a young person, whether you're an older person, you're a middle person, it don't matter who you are. People will fuck with you and find a way to fuck with you if you allow them to. So in my opinion ways, don't go out there broadcasting your business. Don't go out there trying to act like you ain't looking for trouble or attention where it's not necessary or needed. Probably save your life, especially nowadays. People are not playing around anymore, okay? The day and age of this is play time, and people, you can say your sorries and apologize and do all this other. No, people are. Let's just say people are checking out, and I don't mean checking out the hotel. People are checking out of life in scary numbers. Let's just put it that in a nice way. And you could do all the statistics reading about this and that. Oh shit! Oh shit! Hey day day! Hey day day! Got that Mookie Betts. He's got that Mookie Betts. He got that Mookie. He got that fucking Mookie out here. But yeah, we're gonna make our bet here. Surely make our bet here. All right. I'm smoking gelati. It's gelato and biscotti. It's really good. I like biscotti and I like gelato is really good too. It's a new strand, a new strand of marijuana. Kind of like Sunset Sherbet. Forbidden fruit. All right, who do we think tonight here? What do I want to take here? Who do I want to take here? Do I want to take Miami? I took yesterday. Yesterday I took Milwaukee with no hesitation. Now it's like who do I trust? It's like who do I trust? Can I trust that the 76ers are going to perform well in the playoffs here? There's no Ben Simmons. There's in a game one of a series here. Who do I got to put my money on here? And I've done it all year long, but hey, I mean I love the Heat here. But this is the spot I'm gonna take the Philadelphia here tonight on the money line here. I'm gonna take Philadelphia on the money line here, and we're gonna take the over here. So our first bet is gonna be, and we're gonna take this. We're gonna have this NBA bet here. I mean, I think there's also hockey. We got hockey. All right. Let's see here. We got NBA bet here. All right. So we're taking 76ers money line here. That's plus 280 here. And we're taking the team total over 208.5. All right. Next game, we have the Dallas Mavericks and the Phoenix Suns. Now, this is assuming that obviously Devin Booker is playing tonight here. And the Suns, the Suns cashed it out here, and they so that's why the Mavericks are underdogs here tonight here. And I mean, I so far, and I like this series here, the Mavericks and Suns. I like this matchup, and hmm, I don't like taking this here, but like the 76ers here, I'm gonna take the Mavericks to win game one here, steal a game one here, and I'm gonna take the over here. So we're gonna take the Mavs here. Mavs money line plus 195 here. And then team total over 214.5. Mavs, Suns. I like that here. I like that. And then we're gonna add. We'll look at it. We'll look at one of those. We'll take one of these hockey because I know hockey's in the playoffs right now. Here. Yeah, yeah, playoff hockey here. Yeah, playoff hockey here. All right. The LA Kings here against Edmonton. Yeah, we'll add the Kings. We'll add the Kings. We'll add the Kings. Plus 170. That'll make that way it'll make it a little bit better. Make it a bit of a sweeter parlay here. Or else it doesn't really make too much. So alright. Alright. Alright, so we bet that. And then we're gonna bet baseball here. We're gonna do our little baseball now. Alright, so we'll go over the bet here again here. We took the 76ers money line, it's plus 280. We're taking the total team over 208 and a half in the 76ers and Heat. We're taking the Mavs money line plus 195 and the team total over 214 and a half in the Mavs and Suns. So, and then we're also taking the Los Angeles Kings money line to beat the Edmonton Oilers here. So we got that little five. We got that little five teamer there. We got that little five teamer here. It's going for we bet it for $1. We can make $109.31 here if those teams cover the bet here. All right, so now we got our MLB parlay here. All right. Let's go here. Oh, and to give you an update here, it's still 3-0 White Sox over the Angels here in the eighth inning. So definitely it was an under game there. I bet the under in those games between the White Sox and Angels is pretty accurate. I think there was one game I think they went over one game. I think, but most of those games stayed pretty. All right, so what do we do here? Do we say We say Diamondbacks and Marlins stay under 6 runs here because of the good pitching here. So, I do think the Marlins can win on the run line, but like who's got a better chance here? Diamondbacks on the road. The bat's been all right here. Pablo Lopez, he's a pretty stout pitcher here. They're trying to give me so we're gonna do. We'll take the Diamondbacks here. We'll take Diamondbacks money line. And then Twins have been playing pretty hot here. But they say they're not. And the Yankees have been playing really well here. I'll take Yankees run line here. Then we got Bissett here. Bissett's been pitching good. He pitched well at home. We'll take Mets. We'll take the Mets on the run line here. All right, we got Mariners. I'll take Mariners money line here. And then it's killed me, but I'm gonna ride it. All right, so we're taking Diamondbacks here. Diamondbacks money line here, and that's plus 140 here. We're taking Orioles here. And plus 130 here. Yeah. So we're taking the New York we're taking the New York run line here. So we're taking Yankees minus 1.5 on the run line here. And we got Mets minus 1.5 on the run line here. And we have Mariners here. Mariners money line plus 115. And then A's money line here. Plus 140. All right. Alrighty. that's that's the bets. That's the bets here. Let's run it down. Let's run it down once again here. We're gonna run the bets down here. We got Diamondbacks money line plus 140. We got Orioles money line plus 130. Yankees run line. Yankees to win the run line by a run and a half. Mets to win on the run line by more than that run and a half. Mariners money line plus 115 and A's money line plus 140 here. So we are, and if that six teamer cashes here, betting a dollar will make $183.07. So yeah, that is the betting of the day here. The betting of the day, we went through a little bit of the draft here. Kind of gave my little opinion on the draft and this and that. So we're gonna get off here, kind of relax and get the day rolling. Get the day rolling and going here. Yeah, basically get ready for the games here tonight here and watch that. It's gonna be exciting. Um, and yeah, we're back on our Grizzly as we always are, talking about sports here. Trying to give you guys the you know the sports from a different angle. It's not as oh I'm trying to be right about why I want to. I'm not here to spew sports as being the right angle of sports. It's a angle of my own understanding to come up and be from all the things that I take in collectively and to make you know, my own opinions based off the things that I know and basically picking the teams that I like and going with the why I picked these teams tonight. Tonight I figured, hey man, it's a good night to take certain teams and take them in a good spot here. That's why I picked certain teams here. Yeah, it's not smart to debate. Oh, maybe the Orioles and the A's but sometimes you have to pick and choose your spots when you're betting a team, and hopefully that spot and that side that you're taking in the bet cashes out and wins. It doesn't always happen that way, but if you do, hallelujah, awesome. If it doesn't, oh well, better luck next time. There's no being bitterness or you want to burn down, you want to take somebody out because no, it's based on what you know and what you can prove. You can listen to all these people all you want. They can try to tell you that they know best and they know like how to do shit and how they're better people and they have a better understanding. Well, good, awesome. I hope they're doing well and hopefully they're doing the best and hopefully what they do works out for them. If not, well, hopefully they figure it out. No hard feelings and no like, oh hey, throw salt in the wound and watch people just rabble and it's not, man. It's not what life's about. Life's about enjoying it while you have it, and of course, there's different levels to this shit, but many people won't realize that or even come to the understanding of that. But we just gotta keep it moving, keep pushing, keep it going, keep the vibes out there, keep the vibes on good. Keep them on the good levels. You know, try to keep the devil in his fucking hole at all times. Try to keep all these idiots in their place, and this and that. Make sure you're vigilant doing your job, And don't be fooled. Don't be an idiot. Stay woke. Don't get caught slipping out here because if you get caught slipping out here, and slipping, falling, you can't get up. You're slipping, falling, you can't get up. You got to get up. Like the old DMX song. Rest in peace. So we out of here. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of this Monday. Enjoy the enjoy this Cinco de Mayo week. Make sure if you are celebrating, celebrate in moderation. Make sure you're taking care of somebody. If you see somebody in trouble, please help them out. Don't sit there and fucking just watch somebody make an ass of themselves or just throwing up on themselves or gonna fucking end up in a bad situation. Don't be that fucking don't be that person that sits there and watches people because guess what? 9 times out of 10, you're the same. What happens? What you're gonna watch someone do what you're watching someone happen to them is gonna happen to you, and somebody else is gonna help you. So, so let's take care of each other responsibly and celebrate these holidays and these cultures in good ways, not bad ways. There's too much bad going on nowadays. We need to celebrate in good ways, not bad. And on that note, I'm out this piece.